When you learn to strike a golf ball the natural golf way, this way, a lifetime of better golf is yours. So are reliable, repeatable, strong, straight golf shots. PGA champion, Ryder Cupper, Martin Trophy winner, and golf television personality Bob Rosburg, renowned for his believable call-it-as-I-see-it reporting, will present it to you. He's Rossi to the millions of golf fans around the world.
Natural Golf asked me if I felt like I could talk about their method of teaching. I said I certainly could, and I would, because their system is very much like the one I used when I was playing. More than that, I saw the natural golf method of hitting the golf ball put on display by the leading practitioner, Mo Norman, and under the most testing of competitive circumstances, the Masters. When I was in my playing heyday and Mo Norman was the reigning Canadian amateur champion, we were paired together in the second round of the 1956 Masters. The first round, Mo's ball striking was amazing. He never missed a fairway and he never missed a green. And the second round, when he was playing with me, was a mirror image of the first. I knew then that I was in the presence of a ball-striking genius, and history has proven me correct. Nowadays, you'll hear the same thing from fellows like Trevino and Venturi, players you should respect and listen to. Golf Digest called natural golf, Mo Norman's way, the most reliable swing in the game. I would find it difficult to dispute that. In Natural Golf's new book, A Lifetime of Better Golf, the renowned golf educator Chuck Hogan summed it up perfectly, but I'll let him tell you about it. This is Chuck, and for those of you who don't know, he wrote the LPGA's teaching manual and has a pretty famous list of tour players as clients.
When Mo Norman was competitive, the system was new but not accepted. Soon it will be accepted but not new. After 30 years of studying and instructing, it's my conclusion that natural golf is clearly a better mousetrap. Mo calls the walk from the practice tee to the first tee the longest walk in golf. In this natural golf package, we're going to shorten that walk and make it more enjoyable for you.
Earlier, I told you that Natural Golf's way of playing and mine are very similar. You won't find any interlocking or overlapping grips around here. I prefer the 10-finger grip. I've played with it all my life. Natural Golf moves the handle out of the right-hand fingers and puts it securely in the palm. Listen to what Mo had to say on how he came to hold the club in his right palm.
When I went to this carpenter, and I asked this carpenter, and he said, never in the fingers, right in the palm. And now look.
Before we get into the meat of natural golf instruction, I would like to say that in my 2 golf careers, I have been close to or involved in many great golf moments. But this one today was like none of the others. Mo Norman is undeniably a golf genius. Many people don't know a lot about Mo. He is a very special golf character, sort of a recluse, but real golfers appreciate him as one of the best ever. When we played that day at Augusta, he was a kid. Look at him today. He's almost like a parent, a justifiably proud, confident, and authoritative figure directing his natural golf friends how to show a now eager golf community this better way to play.
I'm lucky. I can give a talent. I can show it. I can explain it. I can tell it. I can show it to people, which is what I love doing.
History is going to thank natural golf for promoting and preserving it. I am going to thank them right here and now. And you will too when you learn natural golf. Because you're going to play better and learn it faster if you listen to those fellas over there and learn the natural golf system they teach. The one in the hat, that's Peter Fox. He is the author of Natural Golf, a lifetime of better golf that he and Golf Digest Productions created for Natural Golf and you. The other guys are Ken Ellsworth, a 10-year veteran of the PGA Tour and Natural Golf Director of Instruction, and Todd Graves, the player of the golf press nicknamed Little Mo after Mo Norman, his golf mentor. Learning to play natural golf is a process, and these fellas and their trained associates can get you started correctly. Whether you are new to golf or just new to natural golf, better ball striking leading to improved accuracy and distance is what you will come to experience. The natural golf swing is easy to make and its rewards come quickly. It is less stressful on your body too.
The promise of natural golf is a simpler, more effective swing. Simpler compared to what? Compared to the conventional golf swing. I'm going to define the conventional golf swing as any time we place the grip or the handle of the club through the fingers of the right hand. We can hold it in a 10-finger, an interlocking, or an overlapping grip, all considered a conventional grip. In such a grip, the shaft of the club and the right forearm will be on different planes. This is due to the club being held in the fingers of the hand. It's this angle that makes the conventional golf swing so difficult. Let me show you. I'm going to take a conventional grip and a conventional setup. Again, notice the angle between the shaft and the forearm. Now my swing plane is going to be somewhere in through here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that up to eye level so that you can see it better. In the conventional golf swing, my shoulder is on one plane, the forearm is on a second plane, you can see the shaft is on a third plane, and the head is on a fourth plane. As I start the swing back, I soon realized that if I had to return to the ball from here, I'd be very weak and ineffective. So what happens in the swing is that the left forearm rotates up and puts the club onto plane. Now I can deliver the club to the ball in a very strong way. However, notice that the club face has turned significantly open. Again, the face is square to the target line here. As I rotate the arm up and put it on plane, the club face is now dramatically open. I must therefore drop the butt of the club, rotate the right hand all the way through, and then turn my left side out of the way to complete the rotation. Very difficult, complicated motion that I need to repeat time after time. Let me show you something else. As this golf club straightens out, the head of the club moves away from my left shoulder. You see how the angle reduces and it straightens out. Well, as this gets longer from my shoulder to the club head, my back must move upwards and backwards to allow for the lengthening of the club. Again, very complicated motion. And remember that I'm swinging this club at between 75 and 100 miles an hour, and I've only got 2 degrees of club face air at impact to hit that ball into a 30-yard fairway at about 220 yards.
It's all that rotation, hands, arms, shoulders, torso, hips, that conventional players have to time exactly to do well. It takes world-class coordination to reliably repeat. And I think if a world-class athlete ever tried natural golf, it might shake up the golf world.
Natural golfers are different. Don't miss the subtle but dramatically different setup of natural golf. It is the straight line the right forearm creates in its relationship with the grip of the club. This straight line, or single axis, allows the natural golfer to make natural golf's totally unique move, called straight line motion. Natural golf's straight line motion dramatically reduces the rotation of the club face and allows for greater club head extension down the target line. The result is what natural golf calls square tracking. It is this innovation that creates strong, straight, natural golf shots. The natural golfer experiences little or no need to rotate the hands, arms, hips, torso, and shoulders during the instant of impact with the ball. The natural golfer also doesn't have to move the spine up and away, because from the start, the arms are extended in the desired straight line impact position. Natural golf's ideal position at impact has the golfer's hips, torso, and shoulders close to facing or exactly parallel to an imaginary line drawn back from the intended target through the original position of the golf ball. In natural golf's only moving fundamental, facing the ball at impact, hip rotation is greatly reduced. Those quiet hips produce a solid footing that at impact keeps both feet entirely in contact with the ground. The resulting balance allows the natural golfer to make a confident, strong striking motion. That confidence quickly turns into distance.
Another great shot, Todd. Now that you know why you should be a natural golfer, it's time you learned how, like his swing. Natural golf keeps it simple. You're going to be introduced to natural golf in 4 simple segments: how to hold the club, how to stand with the club at the ball, how to move as you swing the club, and how to think while you're doing it.
It is natural golf's first fundamental, the natural palm grip, which makes the game so much easier to play for the natural golfer. Here's how you hold the club in your right hand. Place the handle of the club across the second knuckle of the index finger and on the heel pad of the hand so that the handle lies diagonally across the palm. The V formed by the thumb and index finger should point between the right cheek and the right shoulder when the hands are at body center. The butt end of the club is in line with, but away from the right forearm and points directly at the left shoulder. Here's how you hold the club in your left hand. Place the handle of the club across the second knuckle of the index finger and on the heel pad of the hand. The V formed by the thumb and the index finger should point between your right cheek and right shoulder when the hands are at body center. Place the left thumb slightly right of the center line of the grip of the club. Natural golf discourages its players from gripping the club too tightly. Some pressure is applied with the last 3 fingers of the left hand, and light or no pressure is applied with the right hand. In some ways, the natural palm grip resembles its conventional counterparts, the different finger grips. The dramatic difference is hard to see from a face-on perspective. But when viewed in this way, the straight line natural golf setup difference is easy to see. The straight line relationship between the grip of the club and the right forearm is an absolute foundation of the natural golf system. It produces a club face path that natural golf calls square tracking, which consistently delivers a square club face to the ball at impact. The 2-line setup of conventional finger grips makes square tracking extremely difficult, if not impossible.
Now that you know the natural palm grip, you're probably beginning to understand why they call this natural golf. It is very natural. But how do you stand to hit the ball?
The natural golfer places the feet wider apart than most conventional players. How wide depends on the length of the club. The wider stance encourages balance and limits hip rotation. When using a 5-iron, the natural golfer should place the insides of their feet on the outsides of their shoulders, slightly wider for longer clubs and slightly closer for shorter clubs. Individual stature will affect stance also. Taller, longer-legged natural golfers tend to have wider stances. The feet are placed directly at the target line or turned slightly off of it. The more the feet are turned away from the line, the greater the tendency for hip rotation. Once your feet are properly placed, turn your attention to body posture. Tilt your spine at an angle that encourages natural golf's straight line arm extension. The angle of the arms will vary. It is affected by the length of the club you are holding. The shorter the club, the closer you will be to the ball, and the relationship between your arms and body will be more vertical. Distribute your weight evenly between the heels and the balls of the feet.
How you position your hands in natural golf and how that affects the club head's relationship to the ball are unique to natural golf. First, in the natural golf system, you position your hands in the center of the body with all clubs. Second, in the natural golf system, the club head is positioned slightly away from the ball. How do you create that position? With the hands always body-centered, the natural palm grip points the butt end of the club's handle toward the left shoulder. That creates another natural golf straight line, extending from the club head, along the shaft, through the hands, up the left arm toward the left shoulder. Once again, the length of the shaft of the club affects the setup. With the hand's body centered for all but specialty shots and the butt end of the handle pointing toward the left shoulder, the club head of a driver will set farther away from the ball than the club head of a wedge. And the lengths of the shafts of the other clubs will set the club heads between those extremes. Also affecting the distance between the ball and the club head is the position of the ball itself in relation to the golfer's body. In the natural golf system, you position the ball in relation to your body rather than your feet. For wedges and short irons, play the ball in front of your body center. For the driver, fairway woods, and long irons, play the ball in front of your left hip or shoulder. For other clubs, play the ball between those ball position guidelines. Now you know 3 of Natural Golf's 4 unique swing basics. The natural palm grip, Natural Golf's straight line relationship between the right arm and grip of the club, Natural Golf's slightly wider and more stable stance. You're almost naturalized. Natural Golf's 4th swing basic is the only one that relates to movement. It is face the ball at impact.
Facing the ball at impact promotes natural golf's square tracking path of the club face through the impact area. When you face the ball at impact, your body transfers its energy to the ball in the same direction you want the ball to fly. It contributes greatly to strong, straight natural golf ball flight. Natural golf's swing movements that precede and follow the face the ball at impact position are streamlined too. The backswing begins with a turning of the left shoulder, extending the arms rearward and then naturally upward. Keep your hands relaxed. They will load energy for the hitting action without conscious effort by you. The hands don't move past shoulder height at the top of Natural Golf's backswing. Natural Golf's top of the swing hitting position may be familiar to you. It resembles a throwing or hammering position. In the Natural Golf system, the left and right shoulder operate independently of each other. The left turns approximately 90 degrees from its starting position, while the right only turns about 45 degrees. At the top of your backswing, the left arm should not bend noticeably at the elbow, and the left shoulder should be under the chin. The downswing is simply a downward movement of the right elbow that takes the right hand and arm away from the right shoulder and moves the elbow in front of the right hip.
Some successful natural golfers, including Mo Norman, accomplish this movement with a feeling that the left arm is initiating the action, pulling the right elbow, hand, and arm to the correct position in front of the right hip. Whether you accomplish this move with a feeling from the left side or with a motion that originates from the right side, it is important that the arms get in front of the right hip prior to any substantial movement of that hip. Now, here's the moment of truth. Impact naturally. During the downswing, the weight of the club head will encourage a loading of energy in your right hand. That loading creates an angle at the right wrist hinge. Retain that angle until the club face contacts the ball. Your folded right arm simply straightens through the impact area. The release of the right wrist angle during the instant of impact occurs naturally. Any conscious effort by you to affect the timing of that right hand release will usually result in a poor shot. During impact, your hips stabilize on the desired square to the ball flight line. They do slide slightly, but powerfully. The hips are close to parallel to the desired line as your weight shifts forward along it. The weight shift is coordinated with the momentum created by the swinging of your arms and the club. At impact, the right heel remains in full contact with the ground, producing nearly square hips until the ball is well on its way toward the target. The way the right heel remains in contact is a distinct natural golf trait. The hips will be less likely to rotate off a square relationship to the target line when the right heel stays in contact with the ground during impact. Once the ball has left the club face, the natural golf shot is technically over. As that is happening, you should find that both your arms are fully extended, your hips are nearly square to the target line, and both your feet are flat on the ground. The club head in a natural golf swing will usually extend farther along the target line than in a conventional swing. An instant later, the tension created by the momentum of your movement releases. Your right arm rotates and crosses over the left, and hips rotate. Your weight transfers off the right foot onto the left, and your torso turns toward the target. That's it. Natural golf's mechanical basics. There's one more segment, though, and like other natural golf fundamentals, it is simple, a no-brainer, so to speak. And that's the way Chuck Hogan and Natural Golf urge you to play without getting your brain twisted by all sorts of swing details.
Natural Golf staunchly insists that you empty your conscious mind of the mechanical details of how to strike the golf ball while you're actually playing the game. Conscious thinking about details of the swing during the natural golf motion distracts your target orientation. It produces bad shots and unhappy golfers. Proficient natural golfers think mostly about the target and perhaps the shape and the arc of the ball's flight while they're swinging. If you don't mess with it, your trained subconscious will repeat and repeat the same good motion virtually every time.
One of the real benefits of choosing to play the natural golf system is that it is so streamlined. Natural golfers don't have many swing mechanics to think about anyway. They quickly come to trust that with little conscious effort, they can make consistent and predictable contact with the ball. When that occurs, a natural golfer is born. Now, natural golfing begins with Natural Golf's graduated teaching process.
It doesn't matter if you're an accomplished conventional golfer or just a beginner. With Natural Golf, we're going to teach you the same set of fundamentals no matter what your level of play is. The first learning exercise is our 4-stage horizontal drill that will introduce you to the natural golf movement. Hold the club horizontally in front of your face with the right hand using the natural palm grip. Add the left hand to the grip. Turn your left arm and shoulder and fold your right elbow. Return your arms to the starting position so the right arm straightens. Next, repeat the 4 steps, but tilt the angle of your spine slightly and suspend the head of the club between horizontal and the ground. Then repeat again, tilting your spine further until you ground the head of the club. Finally, with the ball on a tee, follow the same arm and shoulder movements, keeping the backswing abbreviated. The hands go no higher than the hips. As the ball leaves the club face at impact and the arms straighten, it is very important that you freeze your arms extended position for a full 5-second count. You should perform all stages of this drill in slow, half, and 3/4 speeds. During this critical learning period, you should become acutely aware of the club face square relationship to the target. Also take note of how both feet are flat on the ground and how you are balanced and how body rotation is greatly reduced. After you strike the ball in this drill, check these positions. The palm of the right hand should be pointed at the target. The right arm should be straight and there should be a straight line from the head of the club through its handle up the left knee, hip, and shoulder. The left knee should be flexed forward and the head should be back over the right knee. The knees, hips, and shoulders should be parallel to the target line. A second way to learn natural golf striking motion is a right hand only chip shot drill. Hold the club in the right hand in natural golf straight line setup. Stand with the ball in the center of your stance with knees, hips, and shoulders parallel to the target line. Swing the club back and fully extend or cock the right hand until the shaft is parallel to the ground. Holding that extended position or wrist angle of the right hand, move the club forward to the ball and hit a short shot 5 to 10 yards. It is very important that you maintain the angle of the hand extension in this drill. The left knee should be flexed forward and the head should be back over the right knee. The knees, hips, and shoulders should be parallel to the target line. Another learning exercise that we consider vitally important is the square hips at impact drill. Put your right hand on your right hip, allowing your left to hang by your side. With your right hand, push your right hip straight toward your left hip just a few inches. When your hips have moved, your left knee will fold slightly and the kneecap will point toward the toes of your left foot. Once you have attained that position, your lower body has arrived at the natural golf impact position. Hold it there. Let your subconscious absorb it. It is not an exaggerated position. Your upper body has remained stable and in its original position, though slightly lower. Slowly and gradually begin a rocking motion from that impact position to the start position and go back and forth without a club. The sideways hip slide, when coordinated with the proper natural golf swing, is not a big movement, but it is very strong. Add a club to the exercise. Go to the impact position and again rock back and forth as you did without the club, coordinating the club movement with the slight hip slide.
This kind of learning, what I call the pre-golf activities, the grip, the stance, the posture, aiming, aligning, and swinging, requires conscious mental focusing on these activities, one chunk at a time. That's important as you're learning. When you focus on these elements, one chunk at a time, the absence of confusion that you will experience will give you good golf shots. The beauty of the natural golf motion is that its simplicity does not tend to confuse. The motion is simple. When you put together the pre-golf pieces, you're ready to play golf. You're ready to adhere to the law. And what's the law? The law is, when you're thinking of golf mechanics, you can have no thoughts of target. When there's a target in mind, you cannot consider mechanics. There's no need to get bound up with mechanical swing thoughts. Practice pre-golf stuff. Play natural golf with an uncluttered and free mind. Trust and enjoy.
Well, that's about it. Natural golf. It's not rocket science. Plain and simple, it's plain and simple and can bring you better golf for the rest of your golfing life. Take it from these fellas. Do what they have shown you here, and you can rightfully expect a lifetime of better golf, naturally.
The material presented in this video is general in nature. When you decide to begin your lifetime of better golf with natural golf, we urge you to start with professional and personal instruction with a qualified and certified natural golf professional. Personal natural golf instruction may take several forms, including schools, clinics, and private lessons. Call 888-NAT-GOLF toll-free to arrange your personal natural golf instruction package. Natural Golf's player assistance will build a learning program to fit your schedule, budget, and skill levels.